to another video on the Down to the Wire Sports channel, and today we are diving right into the NFL offseason. Of course, the biggest stories right now is, of course, those Patriots. They've over the past few weeks they've made a ton of moves, and from what I'm seeing, there's almost a big guarantee they win the Super Bowl next year. Some of the most notable things they've done is they signed Stephon Gilmore from the Buffalo Bills. Of course, that big corner was, in my opinion, one of the top corners in all free agency. And of course, the Patriots lost Logan Ryan, but still have Malcolm Butler, and combining Gilmore with them is just ridiculous. On the other side, they also traded for a wide receiver. Of course, everyone knows Brandon Cooks from the New Orleans Saints. Uh, they didn't give up much of anything. It was just draft picks and pretty much nothing. And giving Brady another weapon, especially a guy like that, I don't understand what these teams are doing. All these teams complain, oh, the Patriots are winning every year. I hate the Patriots and all this other stuff. Yet these GMs give up all these players to the team, and they just make the Patriots like the gods of the NFL, honestly. It's just crazy. So, of course, besides that, they got Hightower back for another 4 years. They traded for Dwayne Allen, of course, after losing Bennett to the Packers. But, they just get to run their big tight end sets again, with Gronk being back healthy and Dwayne Allen, who was pretty good with the Colts. Every year these Patriots get these big tight end tandems, and for whatever reason, it works for them. They're very good in that sense. Okay, you added Cooks to a wide receiver corps that already has Amendola, Edelman, Malcolm Butler, not Malcolm Butler, what am I saying? Malcolm Mitchell, and I can't think of the other guy's name. But anyways, it's crazy. Who's going to stop the Patriots next year? They, unless something ridiculous happens, then they are pretty much locks for at least making the Super Bowl. And at the moment, unless some other teams I see step up and make big moves, which we have not seen yet, then it's going to be another year of parades in New England. So, of course, on the other side, the Vikings had just signed Latavius Murray from the Oakland Raiders, and I think that's a pretty good signing. I thought getting rid of Peterson, not the greatest idea, but they were both trying to move on. Honestly, Peterson wasn't going to be the same, and of course you're getting Murray, who came off a good year with the Raiders. But then that leaves the Raiders with nothing. I can't think of their backup off the top of my head, but I'm thinking they need to sign someone. So maybe they could just swap and pick up Peterson. The Raiders do have a good offensive line, so I think he'd be pretty good in that system. They could also go for a guy like Jamal Charles, who is still a free agent after Kansas City let him go. But I think Peterson is a better option after Charles has been injured a lot recently and not playing too much. Then, up in Seattle, they took Eddie Lacy from the Packers and also gave him an incentive to lose weight, and I thought that was pretty comical. But I think that was a good signing. They were doing pretty well with these big power backs like Marshawn Lynch, and a big guy like Eddie Lacy, I think, fits right into that system. The only problem is he going to be the guy we saw in the first year with the Packers, or is he going to be the guy that couldn't lose weight and couldn't do anything the past 2 years? So to me, that's kind of a toss-up, but at the same time, there's a good chance it works out. And the thing I'm still surprised of is we still have LeGarrette Blount on free agency. I'm very surprised the Patriots didn't make a move to sign him back, because they also seem to do well with these big power backs, and Blount would just never go down, honestly. That was a little crazy. So teams that could potentially sign him, you still definitely have the Raiders. And I just mentioned Peterson and Charles, but he could be pretty good on that team. As for other teams, not exactly sure. I think he'd play either a backup role or just a smaller role on some other teams. That's just gonna depend because the Patriots signed, I think his name was Rex Burkhead from Cincinnati, and that that was a little weird to me. I guess good signing. They seem to sign these under the radar guys, and it always seems to work in their favor. So we'll see what happens. So in some other moves, of course, everyone heard about the big trade of Brock Osweiler to Cleveland. Of course, I think they're just gonna let him go. He'll find somewhere else to play. But for the Texans, definitely a good trade. I mean, he didn't work out after signing him to a big contract. And, I think they could still pick up someone through the draft. My biggest option, what I would try to do, is get Tony Romo, but I know everyone hates him or doesn't hate him, and that's just a big mess. But in my opinion, Tony Romo should be the guy on the Texans. And in other news, the Chicago Bears signed Mike Glennon for $40 million. I mean, this dude's making bank, and he's been a backup for the majority of his career and has done pretty much nothing worth that amount of money. What the hell is wrong with you? This is just ridiculous. I mean, if he's making 40 million, Aaron Rodgers should make like 100 million, or even Tom Brady. Of course, he doesn't get paid, but that's another story. And then on the other side, these 49ers, they just hired a new coach. The guys they signed, Brian Hoyer and I can't think of the other guy's name. Anyways, but they just signed two backups, and they're like, oh yeah, we're rebuilding. They had an opportunity to trade their pick for Kirk Cousins, who maybe isn't the best quarterback, but why would you let Washington take that back? I mean, right off the bat, you would have had a decent starting quarterback to build off what was a decent defense last year. They picked up some receivers, and they would have been a decent team this year, but with Brian Hoyer at the helm, oh yeah, he thinks he can start. Of course, he had his moments, but that's not a guy you're going to go out and win in the playoffs or the Super Bowl with. I mean, come on. These teams, they're just making these, what I think, boneheaded moves. I mean, you could say maybe Washington didn't want the pick. All right, that's understandable. Maybe this is just a backup and they'll get someone in the draft or trade up. I don't know. But we'll see what happens. It's been a very interesting offseason, and there's definitely still more moves to come. I don't know what else you could really do, honestly, but with the draft coming up, there'll definitely be some trades for the draft, and we'll see who drafts who. Just that will definitely be interesting. Alright, anyways, that's all I got for you today. I am thinking of making more videos, especially with the basketball NCAA tournament going on, or just starting really. And I want to get into some of those games. There's also the World Baseball Classic and Baseball Spring Training starting up. So maybe we'll have more videos on that, but for now we'll keep doing this once a week videos, and we'll see what happens. So as always, thanks for watching. We will see you on the next video.